So hungry to the point where you're willing to eat anything? Well, I'm here to fix that. This skill will not only make it to where your hunger will be filled, but you'll not only be satisfied with the meal that you have made. I've been making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for 17 years, and I learned it from my mom. And she, in my opinion, is a connoisseur of sandwiches. Now, PB&J is a meal, but let me tell you, it's simple, it's easy to make, it's convenient, but there's a lot of different things you can do to make it unique to your own. Now, I will go over the ingredients and the steps needed to go through in order to complete this meal. Before we start making the sandwich, we must go over the ingredients, like I said. Now, even though this meal is very simple, there are a good amount of ingredients that are needed in order to complete this. The first item that is needed is a napkin. Now, I have this napkin right here. It's a paper towel, and I do this to prevent any messes, so it doesn't get on the table, it doesn't cause anything. Next, what you're going to need is a butter knife. I have my butter knife here. You're going to need some peanut butter. I have my Skippy's Natural Creamy, because we don't do it crunchy out here. Next, I have my jelly, which is not my favorite, but it's Concord Grape Preserves. Highly recommended. Next, we have our bread, which is the premium Italian, because we don't go regular. And yeah. So, like I said before, you're going to want to lay down your paper towel or napkin flat on your table or surface that you're going to be using. And then you're going to want to take out 2 slices of bread. Now, I'm not a fan of the tops or bottoms, so I like to get right into the middle. You're going to want to lay them opposite of each other, just like this. Just so I can show you guys. Next, what you're going to want to do is open up your peanut butter jar. Now, this can be done in different orders, depending on what your preferences are, but this is how you make my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Next, you're going to want to scoop it out, and just lay down the bread. And the good news is for mine, even if you put too much peanut butter on one side like I did right there, you put it on both sides. So you want to spread that thusly, just like dragging the peanut butter across bread, dragging it towards you. That's my technique. Now, once you are done with the peanut butter on one side, you're going to want to move the other. Once again, very simple. You don't want to push too hard to rip through the bread, because then you're going to want to restart with a different bread. Now, if you have excess peanut butter, you can either wipe it on the bread, or you can save it and put it back in the jar. I've chosen to go back into the jar. You're going to want to lay down your knife and close the cap. So, before you dip it into your jelly, you're going to want to clean off the knife either with a napkin or on it itself. I'm going to choose to do both. Next, what you're going to want to do, open up your jelly jar. Now, there's not a lot of jelly in this one. And if you do get messy at all, you can use the napkin. Next, you're going to want to dump out some jelly. Now, the thing with this jelly is that it's a little rough to get out, so you're going to want to get in there with the knife that you just previously cleaned off. Once it's on, that's about how much jelly I like. Spread it around. Okay, have it even. Now, I don't put jelly on both sides, and that's just personal preference, but if you prefer to have jelly on both sides, that's completely up to you. It's just the way I like it. Now, once you're to that point, do the same thing you did before and wipe off your knife. Take your jelly cap, put it on top of your jelly can. And then this next step is very important. Instead of dragging this piece of bread onto this piece, the jelly would slip out. So you're going to want to take this one and gently fold it over. Now, there's many different methods of this. Now, after this, you could either choose to cut off the crust. You can choose to leave the crust on. You can use those crust cutters, and you can press it onto it. But we're not going to do that. This is what we have so far. And this is the final result of what you're going to want to do or have once you have my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now, like I said before, many different unique. You could put avocado, you could put Nutella, you can cut it in halves, you can cut it into 4s, but this is just the way I like it. And like I said, this peanut butter and jelly will not only fill your hunger, but it'll also save lives. Dig in.